There ought to be a real estate song called Use Your Equity. Oh, use your equity and get out of all your problems. Use your equity. That's all I hear on these videos is access your equity. And this is what's funny about it. That equity you have in your house, it's not your equity. It's the bank's equity. You do not have access to it unless you sell the real estate. Then you can take your equity and stick it in your pocket. It's all yours, except what tax people want to take out of it. But it's not your equity. You say, oh, I'm going to use my equity to buy a rental property. Use your equity. It's not your equity. It's the bank's equity. All you're doing is borrowing money. If it was your equity and the bank gave you the money for it, like through a mortgage, they gave you the cash, okay? If it was your equity, you can stick it in your pocket and you shouldn't have to repay it. You think you got to repay that money? Yeah, I think you got to repay that money because it's not your money. It's other people's money and they expect to be repaid. So what you call your equity is nothing but a loan you're taking out and using your house for security. It's like going to the pawn shop and you got a very expensive Canon Nikon camera. You need some cash. You go in the pawn shop and you pawn it. They take the camera, they give you a ticket, and they give you cash. You say, oh, now I've got cash. Wonderful. You ain't got cash. All you did was borrow money. Guess what? If you want your camera back, you've got to pay for the money that you loan. If you don't pay, the pawn shop keeps the camera. If you don't pay your mortgage you just took out, your monthly payments, the bank takes your property. It's the same thing. So your equity is no different than the money you get from a pawn shop pawning something.